Great, we are recording. Hello and welcome everybody. Happy New Year and a very, very successful season 2020. I'm very thankful for every one of you who subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, it means a lot to me. Do it. Click on the subscribe button. Let's go for it. It just shows me that the work I put in actually has an effect on somebody else. Today I'm testing something new. I got my lavalier microphone and I got a Rode NT1A. You probably can see it, and I just want to find out what the audio quality is. Well, some of the last videos I wasn't very happy, so now I'm working on audio, invested quite a bit, try to make it some better. Today's session is not about pro rowing, today is about amateur rowing. Why? Because most of you guys are amateurs. You know, most of you are not, you don't aim for Olympic Games, you don't aim for World Championship, you just want to scull well. So this video is all about amateur sculling, and it reached me from China. It's Yang Hu. Yang is an amateur rower. He's 35 years old. He started to row 6 years ago. So when he was 29, I reckon, if my math is not too bad. And Yang just wanted to know, hey, what is it that I can do better? All right, Yang, let's jump right into it. Good. Now for a start, let's get a nice footage right there. Okay. When we see you row, there's one thing, and you probably have noticed this, you know, all of you guys watching that, is just before the catch, the blades are very high off the water. Now this is a classic. The question is, how do you solve that, and why are your blades off the water? You know, what are some quick fixes that you can work on right now? Okay, so two quick fixes I suggest. First one is, when you go forward, make sure you bring the lower spine a bit more forward, not so much the chest and the shoulder girdle, because that puts a lot of weight on your oar handles right there, and therefore you're too stiff. Also, I know that when you haven't rowed long, you're a bit insecure. Can I stabilize that very narrow shell of a single scull? You can actually stabilize it much better if you keep your shoulders a bit loose. Don't try to be too stiff. You know, stiffness makes it unstable. You want to be, partially you want to be limp as a sock, especially around the shoulders, around the elbows. You know, if you don't need it, don't tighten it up too much. But here at the lower section of the spine, you want to be stable. So, and that's a classic Yang. You're not the only one. You have it reversed. So here in the lower section, you're not stable enough. Taller. I suggest you do some of that core training. Link the video right here or right there. It's usually left or right. And then be more relaxed here in the upper sections. And the way you do this is every time you go forward, and I recently tried this out on a bi rower. Every time you go forward, I intentionally, when I row, try to, on the way forward, have the shoulders heavy. It feels like heavy shoulders to me, heavy elbows, but stable in the lower spine. And then I feel like I can control the entire boat very well. Now, if you do this, you would not fall onto your oar handles now. The reason why your blades come off the water a lot is because you try to reach out, but at the same time you try to reach forward. And as you have a lot of upper body weight on the oar handles and too little support in the lower spine, the result is that you have to support your body weight somehow, and you do it by leaning onto your oar handles. Now they're not very good to lean onto because the blade is very light and the blade will respond. So it's a lever, and the leverage means the blade goes up at a point of time where you actually want to bring it down. So again, let's recap this. How do you solve this problem? Every stroke you want to get right, you have to start at the finish, and from the finish position on, you can do a reset of every stroke, and then you can try to get it right again. So on the way forward, make sure that the lower section of your spine is not too round. You want to sit pretty straight. Your knees bend a bit early because there is not enough support in the lower spine. You've seen this in many videos, but it's a classic, guys. Many of you do this, and even when I row, I ask Jakob or Alex or some of my other athletes, hey, look at me. I'm out of shape. Maybe get in a training session every now and then, and I do mistakes as well. I need people to correct me, and sometimes I'm too hunched in the lower section of the spine as well. So this is what happens with you, and you try to overcompensate this now with the upper section. Therefore, you're too stiff in the shoulders and the lat and the triceps and arms, and therefore you don't have the flexibility to move out spread your wings at the catch. No, you support your body with this. And this also makes the boat feel very unstable. Okay, let's just move on, Young. So you row a bit. That's a very nice water body you row on. I like that. Looks beautiful. Nice and green, blue skies. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Oh, yeah, Young, do you see this? At the catch, this rotation here, if you change what I told you before, you will not have the problem that your blades go too deep in the water. That upward rotation now is only the result of you having to get rid of the body weight from your oar handles and put it back onto the seat where it should have been from the first place. So if you do this, easy, lift your hands, there is no vertical support on your oar handles, and therefore you're much more stable. So that's one of the classic results. If I were your coach, I would not ask you to change this from the start. I would ask you to change what I told you initially, and then I would probably remind you, say, Young, now you don't have a lot of weight on your oar handles. Now you can let the oar handles easily, go up, float, and just lock your hands at the same position, and now start to pull horizontally only. And if you were on a bi-rower, you would probably have a big play at the catch, because on a bi-rower there is no water, so there is no upward vertical resistance. So it'd feel like, oh, empty, and the moment you would start to drive horizontally, you would feel resistance. And just by feeling this, you would immediately react. Your body would react without me having to talk or anybody else. Okay, let's just follow this. Yeah, so Young, that's the one thing. What I like is your rhythm. Towards the catch, you're not extra quick. You don't try to rush it. That's good. Young, what type of boat is it that you're rowing here? Anybody recognize that boat? Looks, the color reminds me of the British Ailings, but it can't be one. So I'm curious to know what this is. And Young, for the rest, I think it looks good. One thing now, a bit of a pro tip here. When you go forward, one last tip. Your force is transferred over the shoulder now. You're just like, too stiff. When you move forward and try to follow the tip I gave you the start, lower your shoulder, let the elbows a bit loose, lump. And I really try to, can you see this? Try to bring the shoulders forward from the low end section, not from high up, but from bottom up. That's it. Not top down, but bottom up. And this creates a lot of difference. It's a difference if you go forward this way or this way. And some coaches say, bring your chest out, proud position. It does help, because if you bring your chest out, you can't do this. So, sorry, my phone. So you can't have stiff shoulders and proud chest. Yeah? It will be sitting tall, having loose shoulders. Take your time, correct it. You can do multi-stop strokes. You can do a stop stroke here. Correct. Is that good? Pause here. Always just for half a second, and try. Good. To sum it up, Young. If I were in your position, I'd do the following thing. I'd have a couple of checkpoints. Checkpoint 1, I would make sure at this position that my lower spine is very, very stable. Not just the back, also the ab muscles, the lower abs. I would try to keep my legs straight until my upper body were in its final forward lean position. That's already a lot to think about, because it's muscle memory. You've done this for 6 years now. It takes a while, but you can do this. You're ambitious, otherwise you would not have sent me your video. When going forward, I see this now. You're trying to have loose elbows. Work on also loose shoulders. Don't tighten up things that do not need to be tightened up. Okay. Yeah, check every now and then, again, check again. Am I too stiff here? No, all my weight on the seat. Is all my weight on the seat? And the last checkpoint towards the catch. Can I bring my hands up? Can I bring them up? Okay. If this works, then you should be very, very well positioned now. And your blade should be so close to the water that there's almost no air between blade and water. It's like landing an airplane. Whoop. So it's like spreading your wings, landing an airplane, spreading your wings, landing the airplane of the blade. And then when your seat turns around, forward, backward, then put your blade softly in the water, drive. And once you drive, just try to bring that force gently over the triceps lat connection, not over the shoulders and around back, but triceps lat, and let it run right into your hip. Okay, Young, great job. Thanks for sending this video. Guys, that's it so far. Amateur sculling tips. If you want to send me videos, please make sure you give me permission to use your footage on YouTube and on Instagram and social networks, because then I can do it for free. If the entire community benefits from the video analysis, I'm happy to do it for free. If you want to keep it private, that's fair enough. Then it's a paid service. I can't do private video analysis all the time. That's understandable. All the infos, how to send me videos, which way to send me videos, which resolution and so on, please go to rmtraining.com. There's a menu section, it's called video analysis, and there you got all the info. Okay guys, quick reminder, we got the spring training camp coming up in 2020, the summer training camp in 2020, and then I want your final input. What do you think sounds better? The Rode NT1A or my lavalier? Everything goes into this Zoom H5 recorder, so it's up to you. Tell me, what do you think? Was it worth the investment or not? For the rest, I wish you a very good day. Thank you very much for watching, and I appreciate it if you click the subscribe button and that notification bell, because all the videos I put out, you will be notified first. Have a good day, guys, and I wish you a very, very successful season 2020. Bye-bye.